going to show you guys how to make something irresistible today. And by what I mean is we're going to do resist painting. Resist painting is, well, let me show you. Then we can talk about it. First off, I'm going to take some watercolor paper, kind of heavy paper, and remember the background I used for the chickens project? I'm going to use the other side. I like to use all the resources that I have. This is a picture made using the resist technique. Gidget did it by taking her paper and some masking tape and putting lots of little pieces of tape on it and painting over it and peeling off the tape at the end. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a lot of fun. Here's my masking tape. You can rip off a big piece. You can use any kind of tape you have around the house. I know things are a little crazy and it's hard to get to the store, so use what you have. So I'm going to take little pieces of tape. You can cut them with scissors if you like. I like to tear them. You can tear a bunch of little pieces in different sizes and stick them on all in a row, all the way across the top. Then these are actually going to be the little clouds in our rainbow painting. I love doing rainbows because I know you guys do, and also uses all the colors. All right, so there's my first row. Press it down. And then I'm gonna go and do some more, okay? Now make sure you press it down really good. See that? You don't want any little pieces sticking out because otherwise the paint's gonna get under there. So press it down really good. Now for the colorful part. I'm going to show you with different materials what you can do next. So you can use watercolor paints. So if you use watercolor paints, you just take your brush, dip it in water, and let's go for the red first. And you get your paint nice and juicy. Remember how we used to do that? Stir it up really good, not too much water. You don't want to be too sloppy because you don't want to get your paint on all the other colors. We want to keep this really red. Nice, get your brush is really thirsty. Just like that, see? Fill it up, it's not dripping, right? Not dripping. And then paint right on top of the masking tape. Just go right on top of it. Go all the way across. We're gonna make rainbow stripes going all the way across. Can you see how I'm going right on top of the paint, of the tape? All the way across. Just like that. There you go. You don't need to put up your brush probably again. All the way across. Fill it all the way to the edges of the paper. And that's the red. If you don't have paint at home, you can always use markers. Here's a nice orange marker that I have, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to make sure all the tape is pressed down really neat and go right on top with my marker. All the way around. Do you see that? That's gonna work just fine too. Markers or paint. If you don't have paint or markers, maybe you have a crayon or colored pencil. So I'm gonna do the yellow in that. What I'm teaching you is a technique called resist. And it's actually showing positive and negative spaces. The parts where we're drawing, actively drawing and coloring in, right? And the parts that we didn't do anything to, that are hiding underneath the tape. So you can do this to any of your drawings. You can create any kind of art, fun thing with what you're doing right now. Create your own project, your own idea, using this technique. you don't have paint and you don't have markers and you don't have crayon, maybe you have chalk. Here's some green chalk, and that will work too. What I'm trying to say is you don't need the perfect materials to be creative and to create projects. Anything I do, use what you have and have fun with it. Let's see how the chalk looks. I'm going to use the side of the chalk. Remember how we used to do that in class? To really get along really far. And make sure I get in between and all around the tape. I'm going to work on that right now. Smearing's always fun with your finger. Juicy. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Ooh. Now we have to wait for that to dry. Purple. So you can do all the colors with the same medium material that you have, either all paints, all chalks, all crayons, all colored pencils, or you can mix it up like I did and see how they look, how it looks different when you use a different material, right? I'm gonna do this purple. I found a purple that I like. Or maybe you have a purple crayon that is your favorite, just like Harold. So you want to use that. And you want to use a blue that you love in your watercolor set. This is called mixed media, where we're creating a picture using a whole bunch of different materials. All right, I got my purple in. I can't wait for it to dry and peel off the tape. Now for the fun part, peeling off the tape. Now you take your nail and you just start to peel off the tape. Cool. Do you see what's happening? There's a positive and negative space, and it kind of looks like clouds in the sky of a beautiful rainbow day. It's a design, it's a picture, it's a work of art. So here's a fun little art trick. I noticed when I was taking off the tape that these were kind of cool little pieces too. And so they act like stickers with color. So I decided to take a piece of paper and fold it in half. And I'm going to make a card out of the pieces that I'm taking off. I think I'll make like some purple flowers, or maybe it'll be abstract. I don't know, but I thought that was kind of fun to do that too. It's like two art projects in one. Like making a mosaic. A mosaic is a bunch of little tiny pieces of color put together to create a picture. What these are. Okay, I'm gonna get to work. Isn't it pretty? It's a beautiful rainbow using a resist technique with the tape. And then with my tape that were colorful, I made a new picture. I made it into a card. It's a sun and the sky and some purple and red flowers and the green grass. So I hope you enjoyed learning this really fun resist technique using all the colors, and I hope you have lots of fun creating your own projects with this technique. I have another resist technique for you using a white crayon. Draw anything you want with the white crayon on your sketchbook or piece of paper, secret messages, and then take your watercolor and wash it over your drawing, and your secret message will appear. This is a resist technique too, because the crayons are made of wax and they resist the water. The paper soaks up the watercolor paint, but the crayon doesn't. See how the water beads up on the wax and soaks in with the paper. After it's a little bit dry, dab it a little bit to get the paint off of the wax, and voila! I'll see you next time. Have a great day.